Ratios are important because almost all other topics of arithmetic can use concepts of ratios. Most of the shortcuts for arithmetic problems come from ratios only. So let's start. We can compare price of this pen to the price of pencil by saying that pen is 8 rupees costlier than the pencil. But in many situations, a more meaningful, a more appropriate comparison would be comparison by ratio. A ratio is a relationship that denotes how many times one number contains another. So here we can say price of pen is 5 times the price of pencil. And to find the ratio, we will write the price of pen and price of pencil in form of fraction. 10 upon 2 is the fraction and we call the ratio as 10 is to 2. 10 is to 2. So a ratio can be treated as a fraction and we can reduce this ratio in its simplest form. Just like we reduce the fraction, we can reduce this ratio in its simplest form and write 5 is to 1. The meaning would still be same. Okay. If you divide 10 and 2, both the terms of the ratio, by 2, we get 5 is to 1 and this ratio still means the same thing. Price of pen is 5 times the price of pencil. Here in 5 is to 1, 5 and 1 are called terms of the ratio. 5 is the first term or the antecedent and 1 is the second term or the consequent of the ratio. Okay. These are terms of the ratio. If I change the rates to 20 rupees and 400 paisa, now the ratio will not be 20 upon 400 or 1 is to 20. This is not the correct ratio now. To express as ratio, the two quantities should have same units. 400 paisa is 4 rupees and the ratio is 20 upon 4 or 5 is to 1 only. So the prices are different here, but ratio is same 5 is to 1. So if just the ratio is known to us, we cannot tell the exact price as there will be many values giving us the same ratio. Okay. And just like we reduce the ratio, we can scale it up as well. Ratio is given to us as 5 is to 1. That means cost of pen is 5 times the cost of pencil. It would be same as 10 is to 2, where pen is of 10 rupees and pencil is of 2 rupees. It would be same as 20 is to 4 or 30 is to 6. Cost of pen is 5 times the cost of pencil. All these ratios are same only. So we can multiply or divide both the terms of the ratio. Okay, 5 and 1, we can multiply or divide both the terms of the ratio by same number and meaning of the ratio will remain unchanged. Ratio would still be the same if we divide or multiply both the terms by same number. This is important. Now this same value that we multiply or divide a ratio by is called as multiplying factor. Okay, we are going to call it as multiplying factor. If ratio is given and we have to assume prices for further calculation, we cannot pick randomly from these values. Okay, from these prices, we cannot pick a certain price at random. Okay, we can safely assume the prices as 5x and x. Okay, we can assume the prices as 5x and x for the sake of calculation. Different values of multiplying factor x will take into consideration all the possibilities for the prices and ratio will still be 5x upon x, that is 5 is to 1. So let's solve a few questions now. Divide rupees 3200 among Ram, Sham and Gansham in the ratio 5 is to 2 is to 1 and find the amount received by each of them. If ratio is given, we can assume their individual shares, right? it would be 5x, 2x and x, where x is the multiplying factor, or you can call it proportionality constant. So their shares are 5x, 2x and x, and total sum is given to us in the question. It is 3200. That means 8x is equal to 3200 and x will be equal to 400. Put this value back and get the Ram's share as 5 into 400, that is rupees 2000. And rest of the shares will be 800 and 400 rupees each. Now there is method number 2. Method 2 is almost the same, just a step shorter. Ratio of Ram's share to total share is 5x upon 5x plus 2x plus x. That is 5x upon 8x or 5 upon 8. We know that x is going to get cancelled on writing the ratio, so we can omit it and straight away take the ratio values. Ram's share upon total is 5 upon 8. And we know the total sum, it is 3200. So Ram's share will be 5 upon 8 times 3200. This is Ram's share on ratio scale upon total share on ratio scale into the total actual sum. It will come out to be 2000 rupees. Similarly, Sham's share will be 2 upon 8. Sham's share on ratio scale upon total share on ratio scale. 2 upon 8 into 3200. That is rupees 800. And subtract 2800 from 3200 and get the value of Ghanshyam's share. What remains is Ghanshyam's share. And we'll quickly move to method number 3. Try to see how similar this method 3 is with this method number 1. Ratio of Ram, Shyam and Ghanshyam's share is 5:2:1. That means these 5, 2 and 1 are actually their shares on ratio scale. Okay, these are the ratio values of the share. And actual values are going to be different, and there will be some factor. There will be some multiplying factor connecting the ratio values to the actual values. Okay, let's see. Total sum on ratio scale is 5 plus 2 plus 1, that is 8. 8 on ratio scale corresponds to the actual value of 3200. Okay, 8 on the ratio scale corresponds to 3200 in actual value. So the multiplying factor here is of 400, which when multiplied to 8 gives 3200. So this is the link joining the ratio scale and the actual values. Multiply it to all other ratio values and get the respective actual values. So Ram's share will be 5 into 400, that is 2000. Shyam's share would be 800 and Ghanshyam's share would be 400 rupees. Everything is same as the previous method only. Earlier we wrote the equation to get the multiplying factor x, and here we did the same thing without actually writing the equation. Take another question. Ratio of scores of A and B is given to you. So we'll assume their marks straight away as 3x and 5x. 7 times A's marks and 3 times B's marks. This difference is 18. So we have an equation here. 7 into 3x and 3 into 5x. The difference is equal to 18. So x will be 18 upon 6, that is 3. Now this 3 when put back in place of x will give 9 as A's marks and 15 as B's marks. Now look at method number 2 for the same question. On ratio scale, A's marks are 3 and B's marks are 5. And difference between the two is 2. Difference between 5 and 3 is 2 on the ratio scale. Now 7 times A's marks will be 7 3s are 21 and 3 times B's marks would be 3 5s are 15. Now the difference is 6. 7 times A's marks minus 3 times B's marks, the difference is 6. Actual difference between 7A and 3B is given to us in the question as 18. So 6 on the ratio scale corresponds to 18 in actual value. So the multiplying factor is of 3, as 6 3s are 18. Now we have to find the difference in A's and B's scores. So on ratio scale, this difference between A's marks and B's marks is of 2. Okay, 5 minus 3, 2. So its actual value will be 2 multiplied by the multiplying factor. That is 2 into 3, 6. 6 marks is the answer. So this is how we solve ratio questions using the ratio scale and the multiplying factor. Let's say we wish to find average of A's marks and B's marks. So on ratio scale, the average would be 3 plus 5, that is 8 upon 2. Average would be 8 upon 2, that is 4. And actual average is going to be 4 multiplied by the multiplying factor. Actual average would be 4 into 3, that is 12. So this is how we relate figures on the ratio scale with the actual values using the multiplying factors. So I hope you have now understood the concept of ratio scale and the multiplying factor. Thank you for watching.